Hi, this is Ann Power. I had some requests to make a video of the little box bag purse that I had posted on my blog, and some of the tips that I have for you for making these bags. So with the way I cut the bag, you'll be able to get 4 purses, and they'll fit an A2 card. So first thing I do is make sure that my paper is, both sheets are lined up with the pattern repeat together, and then I stack them on top of each other. And I cut 4 inches off one end. And so when I get that really straight, I'm cutting both sheets together because I want to keep my pattern repeat, and you'll see that when I put the bag together how important that is. So I'm going to keep my pieces together, take this one and I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut 4 inches off of this. So the only waste in the whole bag, or I wouldn't say waste because I'll probably use it to make something else, is this 4x4 piece. So this is the only thing we're going to set aside. So this is our first bag, and this one the pattern will run sideways. On most patterns it doesn't really matter. It'll look just as cute. I think the pattern's probably supposed to go that way, but it'll be fine on the bag. So that's our first bag. Now we have this piece that's 12 by 8, and we're going to cut that at 4-inch intervals. So I'm going to make sure we have that lined up, that we don't have anything shift while we're moving. If you notice, when I'm using my paper trimmer, I'm always putting my paper against one of the edges, and then I'm going to push my cutting blade toward that and then move it out of the way so that I don't jerk the paper by accident when I'm pulling the blade through. If you were... See, I'm going to always go from this edge toward the edge that my paper's against rather than pulling this way, and that keeps the paper from moving. So these are our bags. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to keep them with their little pairs and not have them get shuffled, because if they do, then they won't line up. See, right now we can line these up and our repeat will be on top of itself. So the next thing we do, we need a box bottom. So I'm going to cut that piece of paper and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the paper I'm going to use for my box bottom, and it was an 8.5 by 11, and I cut it to 7 by 11, and then I'm going to take my 7 and I'm going to cut it at 2.5. Okay. And you could use the scoring blade on here to do your scoring, but I really prefer to use the scoring tool that's meant for this. And what I'm going to do is score 1/2 inch all the way around. So that's at 2 and at 1/2 inch. And then on this side it's going to be at 6.5 and at 1/2 inch. Okay, after we've scored, we're going to go ahead and make a little slit into each of these corners. And then we're going to put our tape on the inside of the flap here. So do here. And then we can go ahead and put those tabs on the outside of the box because they're going to be covered by the side paper. Now we have 2 of our side pieces here can see they're not going to line up perfectly. We would have to go in a whole inch. So I guess the repeat's like in a whole inch. And I don't have that much paper to give up an inch. It wouldn't reach around. We only have about a half an inch. So I'm going to put the repeat just next to it. So it's going to line up about like that. And that's going to look okay. So we want to make sure we keep both sides the same on the bottom. And then I'm going to just put adhesive right along this bottom edge. And then I'm going to put the first one down about 1/4 of an inch past the middle. Okay. And I'm going to go ease this right around like that. You can use a bone folder to do this part. I didn't bring mine over to the cart here that I videotape on. And then we want to check our pattern. So this is definitely our bottom edge. So we're going to go down the side. And then around. And down the second side. And then we're going to line up our bottom edge. And see how we're going to line this up. We have about 1/4 of an inch to overlap, so I guess the different lengths of repeat and how they overlap, you know, if you were making just the right size box, those side seams would line up. So the first ones I did with the other pattern, they lined up perfectly on the sides. These ones don't, are about 1/2 inch off, so I should probably be making a larger box with them, but then I wouldn't have, you know, I wouldn't be able to get 4 pieces out of that sheet of paper and have my cards fit in perfectly snug and tidy. So, okay. Just ease that together. And there's the start of our box. So we're ready to have our side panels. Okay, so for this, the trim panels, I decided to go with this Delightful Dijon, which is one of the new in colors. And I'm going to use this little stamp from I Think You're Great to put some pattern on the pieces. And I'm just going to kind of vary it around. And it kind of has almost like an animal print look to it. And I don't know if that's just because of the colors that I picked or kind of remind me of giraffe. So I'm going to do 6 of them all together. And then 2 of them I'm going to need to be stamped on both sides. So, because these will be the handles, and you kind of see the underside and the overside. Okay. And now we just need to put these on. So we're gonna go ahead and put the fast fuse, the full length. And we've got, this is 8.5 inches long, so there'll be a little bit extra. And I'll bring this all the way around. Not doing nearly as good a job as I did the first time. I'm just going to cut off that little bit of extra. I just want to go right over our seam. So when I was doing these one after another, I kind of got a rhythm to it, but apparently I've lost that rhythm. And I feel like I'm doing this for the first time. But let's see if we get better with the next ones. I guess I really should have cut these to 8 before I started. I think that may be what I did with the first ones. So go ahead and put that on. And then I know I was kind of using my fingers to smooth these down. Yeah. So this one's going on a little bit better. And again, I'm just gonna snip off about a 1/2 inch. And have that overlap. And from inside I can smooth everything down. Alright, and here's our next one. And then we're going to do the top edge. Then I just kind of wanted to get it lined up, so I'm kind of pushing the piece up against my finger, so my finger's kind of guiding that edge to line up. And then again, I'm going to snip this off about a 1/2 inch. And oops. And I'm going to line it up. And there's 6 cut out, but we're going to need actually 8, and because we're going to do the inside after we put our handles on. Now to do the inside, we're going to use these little brads, and I like to just put the holes on both sides at the same time so that the handle's going to be more or less even. So let me see, I'm just kind of center it up. And I think I'll put one set of holes there. And I'm going to put the other set of holes about here. And then on the handles, I can just line 2 up. And I don't want to go too far down. I don't want it to pull through, but I also don't want to have it showing out the bottom of my trim. For whatever reason, these are a little different lengths, so I'm going to even them up and put our little holes in. So we have our brads. Looks like we have just enough left to do this purse. I ordered more, they're coming in my next order. I'm going to go ahead and put the handle in. And I just want to make sure my brads are going really sideways so that they cover up when I put them in. So you see how like that. And then ease that around. Make sure when I push this through, I've got it opening sideways. Okay, there's one handle. And same thing on this side. Actually, I'll hurry up a little by just putting my brads in. So there's our handles, and now we just need to finish the inside of our bag. Okay, so I did go ahead and I cut 2 more pieces. I should have cut 8 to start with. I hope I made the directions right when I did them. We're going to go ahead and put this little piece in. This is probably the hardest part to get this started. Be calm in such a speckly little bag. And one last one. Again, we're going to overlap by about 1/2 inch. And we're bringing this around. And I just want to kind of line up as I'm going, make sure I don't have any sticky mess sticking up. Sorry, it's hard. I usually lean this against me while I do it, so it's a little harder when you're doing it for the camera. And get these handles where I want them, and then really push the glue in place. So there's our little bag. Of course, these are the little candy dot brads. Let me go grab some candy dots to put in them. So we got a lot of choices here for candy dots. I think these rich raspberry ones will be cute on this. I'll show you a trick about how I do my candy dots. This is also how I do my pearls and my rhinestones. So I pick them up on the end of my scissor and I pop that in. And I pick So there's our purse. So the ones I did in my blog post have tags and bows on them, and certainly you can do whatever you want for a tag or a bow. Maybe I'll add something before I photograph this. Maybe not. It's pretty cute. I hope you like it. I hope that helps you to make your own little purse bags. If you want to see how a card fits in, I'll go grab one. Hold on. Okay, here's a card, the one that I made for the other sample. I just used the little 4x4 that was left, and I cut a bunch of strips out of them and threw together a quick little card. And so this is how easy the cards fit in. So you can really, pack up some little cards in there nice and easy. Okay, so I decided to make a little tag, and I have this, I think you're great. It was a circle, but I cut it out with the tag punch because that's what I wanted. And then I'm going to just take and I'm going to put this lace trim through. I'm going to pull it over here, and that's going to kind of open up this little hole. And then I can get this end in there. And I'm going to pull my ends through. And then my bow will lay nice. So there we go.